All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Complexity Casting. coLcast presents Scrimcast Live. Been gone for a little while, but we are back right here, right now. Stay Green taking on Trademark eSports. It should be an absolutely awesome Scrim series. We'll see how many games these teams choose to play, but I am excited. If you did not know, I'm your casting host, Beef, and joining me is going to be Riser from Team TT Esports, the champions of last weekend. Riser, how are you?
Good, good. Happy to be casting again, and this will be a very good, I don't want to say match, but game to cast between, two of the top teams in the world right now, so it should be entertaining.
Yeah, they certainly are two of the top teams in the world, so I am very, very excited to be casting them. Stay Green, I mean, they looked very good. They were able to take out Complexity 2-1 yesterday, and Trademark Esports, they've been on top of the world for months now, winning DreamHack, winning the Haunter qualifiers, and Cycles 1 and 2. But yesterday, your team was able to take them out. We'll see if Stay Green can do the same once more. We're already well into the picking banning stage here, so let's talk about that a little bit. Riser, why don't you tell us a little bit about the blind bans here?
All right, well, Legion, which is Stay Green, they're using a ringer, by the way. They're using Probusk instead of Kezu, but anyway, they're using, they banned, in the Lamine bans, Tundra, Wild Soul, and then Hellborn chose to ban Parasite and Ophelia.
Yeah, pretty standard bans there. Of course, Wild Soul not going to be making it in. Parasite and Tundra, great ganking potential. Ophelia, just a strong jungler. Overall, we saw Stay Green actually use her to great effect in the series against Complexity yesterday. Not going to get it this time. Getting into the lock pool, though. What's going on with that, Riser?
Well, the interesting thing to note about the blind bans is Keeper of the Forest, which is considered one of the best heroes in the game right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
was not blind banned. So you see Swindlemon's immediately lock that, and I predict he's going to first pick that without even a second thought. So interesting to note. But yeah, Keeper of the Forest, first lock. Then we got Tempest, Jereziah, Wretched Hag, Bubbles, and then finally Kronos. So Keeper of the Forest, obviously make it through the blind bans, probably going to be first picked up there. And then Kronos, which is an interesting lock. It could be maybe Minus would like to try this hero out, or maybe it's just something he decided to use as like a filler because he wasn't interested in locking anything else. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see. He is a very strong carry if it does come down to that, but there's a lot of the other strong carries still on the board. But let's get into the bans where a couple of them get eliminated. Sunderland's taken out Draconis, Zephyr, and Engineer, while Minus chooses to ban out Fade, Pebbles, and Demented Shaman. Hey, what do you think about those bans?
Um, yeah, nothing too stand out. I know Minus. I think when we played him yesterday, he also banned him into Shaman, and he's not interested in getting, overrun by like some kind of push strat, which usually, I mean, the Shaman plays a big role in. So yeah, taking out DS, taking out the two gankers, Fade and Pebbles. Then, yeah, the Draconis, Zephyr, Engineer, nothing terribly stand out. Pretty popular heroes. So.
Alrighty. Getting into the picking phase, then Swindelmelons does first pick Plague Rider, and you see right there, he actually does first pick Keeper of the Forest out of the lock pool as well. Swindle also picked up Valkyrie and Electrician for his team. And what do you think he might finish it out with here from the lock picking phase?
Um, well, they have their Suicide hero, probably Plague and Keeper, so um, I don't know, actually. This is kind of interesting. They've got kind of an odd lineup. They could run a support Plague in the middle lane, then do a Suicide Keeper or Tempest. Oh, okay, so he went with Jereziah.
Interesting. So,
Oh. Okay, so
wow.
it's going to be a support Plague because this guy's a Blizzard support player. So.
Yeah. But Jereziah, I mean, first pick worthy perhaps, gets banned a lot of times, left for last pick right there. And Stay Green complements that to finish out their team of Jereziah, Keeper of the Forest, Valkyrie, Electrician, Plague Rider. On the other side, though, tdM, they did go with the Silhouette Glacius, finished out their standard picks with Legionnaire, and then moved in and swooped up Bubbles Wretched Hag to finish out their lineup. What do you think of the tdM lineup?
Um, I like it. They've got a lot of heroes they're very comfortable with. Noob G playing that Silhouette. Of course, everyone knows his Silhouette is amazing. Zai's pretty similar with the Wretched Hag. I predict he's going to go, yeah, he's going to already head into that Suicide lane. Yeah, occasionally you'll see Limp, pick up and play bubbles if Zai isn't, and he's a comfortable solo mid player. And then I've seen Minuts play a fantastic Legionnaire where he gets so farmed. So it's good. They've got the initiation from Legionnaire and bubbles. A lot of team fight. They don't have a whole lot of pushing power, which the Legion team definitely does with keepers. So it's not going to be easy for them to counter push and dodge fights as much as perhaps they would like against Jerizaya. But it looks like Glacius going to get maybe
might
top
be in some trouble. Yeah, for sure. Taking some auto attacks, but no spells being used yet. Of course, Plague Rider does not want to have to level up that Contagion nuke, and does let Glacius get away.
Yeah, I think they would have killed him if he had Contagion, but it's honestly not worth it. It's like when you play Parasite and you level up that Leech to get the first blood, then what do you do after? You're kind of screwed. So yeah, the deny obviously very important here.
Yeah.
So he escapes.
A Tempest leveling up Glacial Blasts first instead of their Elementals. That sets you so far behind.
Yeah, I don't even think it's worth it for the first blood, to be honest. You're so screwed.
Yeah, I could agree with you there. So this pseudo tri-lane up top, not exactly offensive, but Silhouette should find some very good farm up here. She will be going up against Valkyrie Plague Rider, though. So, I mean, what do you really think about Valkyrie Plague Rider laning together against the Silhouette? How are they going to do up there?
They should do fine. They've got the Plague Rider, so they shouldn't have to worry about Legionnaire coming to gank too much because of the lane control Plague Rider provides. But I kind of view it as a very kind of defensive lane. They just kind of want to give Valkyrie their farm. Maybe they can go for a kill on Glacius if he's out of position and they can get like a Contagion into an arrow. But I think the plan is to be pretty defensive. It's a hard lane for tdM to take advantage of in terms of killing them because Valkyrie's obviously got that leap, then Plague's got the lane control, so they should do fine, and I think it's going to be a pretty defensive mindset for them up here.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you. And Plague, like you said, being able to get that lane control is going to be very, very important up there. As you already see, a huge 7 creep wave pushing into the tower right here. And SG's players are just going to be able to soak up that experience, not going to get any of that denied, and then even get some last hits off the tower if they're pretty skillful.
Yeah, I think the creep wave is so big because the Keeper of the Forest pulled the creeps backwards at the top lane, and then tdM didn't really feel like, dealing with tanking the creeps to gain lane control, because they know there is Plague anyway, so the lane is not going to be in a favorable position for them regardless. But interesting to note, we got Jerizaya versus Bubbles mid. You don't see something like that very often. That's kind of interesting. And then Electrician versus Hag, and I think Hag should have a great time against Elec, but Probos is doing really well right now. He's got a 92 creep score versus a 6-0 Hag, which is kind of something you see a lot in like a melee versus a range situation. Early on, the melee with the hatchet will get good creep farm, but it's because the range hero spends a lot of time just harassing him and trying to make him burn to that region. As you see, Zai right now is just kind of pounding right clicks into him. I think he's got that level 2 haunt, which is fantastic against melee. So Electrician is almost out of region, so he's got to fairy some or make up for that somehow soon.
Okay. So yeah, Robo's taking a lot of harassment down there. I mean, Hag up at 19% of damage done in the game. Bubbles also doing a very good job there. Limp actually doing a great job against Jerizaya thus far, at least in terms of harass. 10-2 in CS, whereas Jerizaya is 11-2, so splitting that pretty evenly. But Jerizaya, now out of regen, hasn't been able to get his bottle just yet. It is flying in on the courier along with some other regen, though.
Yeah, he's definitely doing pretty well, man. I think the next rune will be pretty important for whoever can control it for both the mid lane heroes. Yeah, Limp just got his bottle, I believe, as well. So, yeah, I think Probo's still doing really well. 16 creeps, 3 minutes, he gets a Hag. He did ferry himself some regen. He brought himself some runes of the Blight. I almost called them Tankos, but runes of the Blight. And Valkyrie's 7-5 up here against a 5-5 Silhouette. So, sometimes when you have like 2 ranged heroes, a lot of times it's if you play correctly, you can double deny and stuff, and it's not easy to score those creep kills. And obviously, both players aren't performing very well, but yeah, pretty even.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that's a phenomenon that we see, is that there's 4 ranged heroes in a lane going up against one another. Both ranged carries that should be farming actually get really poor farm. So that is kind of what's happening right now, is both of them are lower on CS than you would expect out of a melee carry, perhaps. And Jeremiah in the middle lane leaned toward that top rune, was able to secure double damage with it. So Bubbles, even with that shell serve, wasn't quite able to get there before his opponent. And, well, Swindamelon's going to be able to continue doing well in that lane as he recharges the bottle. Top lane, there might be an arrow attempt coming out here. Glacius going to be in some trouble. Couple auto attacks. No, there was a great tree grapple, and Slicks, well, they need one more auto attack. Deck Lotus, though, and Valkyrie goes down. So Skyzo finishes off Glacius, but loses his Valkyrie, and Plague's in some trouble as well. He's going to be using that Homecoming Stone and will be able to get out of there. But Noob G perfectly happy to get that kill, and now some free farm as well.
Yeah, Noob G is insane, so that's really nice. Nicely done stuff. Oh, middle lane. Oh, Jeremiah's. Oh, wow, he just barely. That was insane.
Wow.
Dive.
He almost did indeed. So, with that kill onto Silhouette, the lane that we had initially kind of talked about might be pretty even, or maybe even a little bit in the Legion's favor. Noob G picks up the kill, and all of a sudden he's doing pretty well up there. 240 gold per minute as opposed to the 160 for Slicks, who is playing on Costa 300 ping. He's about 280 once again, as this is a US East server.
Yeah, US East is no fun for Westerners. Yeah, man, that was crazy top. I thought Glacius was completely screwed, but yeah, get the counter kill on Valk right before Plague finished off. Yeah, it was a nice TP out by Skyzo too, because if he hadn't TP'd, you know, in that position and right away, he definitely would have given up another kill. So well played by him.
Yeah, he certainly could have. As Jeremiah, he's going to run for top, not going to be there though. And now Bubbles taking some counter pressure again. Will he use the shell serve? Should be able to get the rune bottom, but no. Keeper of the Forest is there, able to secure that rune. It's very nice for him, so making sure that Bubbles is not able to refill that bottle. And, well, Electrician taking some pressure in the bottom lane as well. Even with his life tube, he's now at about 30% health. And Hag is really looking for him. Zai finishes up Steam Boots. And top lane, Noob G does take a fall. I didn't catch that one, but Electrician's still in some trouble here. There's the Tree Dogs. They're going to be able to get the root onto Wretched Hag, actually. And Tree might be going in. And, well, actually, it looks like Tree will be falling back.
Yeah, good decision by Zai to just man up. He can't really run away from a hasted tree, so just kind of scared him off. Nicely done. Yeah, I was gonna say that if the Hag was kind of low on health, if Tree Keeper rotated bottom with that ult, they could have killed him. But Electrician doesn't have grip just yet, so yeah, I think they would kind of need that for the extra, you know, disable. But yeah, Noob G also going down top. I guess it was like a Plague nuke into like an arrow combination, which, you know, definitely does a lot of damage. But yeah, nice job.
Alright, I'm being told that my mic is extremely low. So, I'm trying to bump it up here. Give me 1 second. So we'll see where that is in 6 minutes, guys. Once again, my sound card unfortunately did die last week. So I've been using a different one, and it's not very good. Waiting for a replacement to come in. So apologies, guys, if my sound settings are a little bit tweaked out. Bubbles using Shell Surf once again to try to get to the top rune, and it will be bottom. So Jeremiah and Bubbles both just turn around, going for a little bit of a race. But Z-Freak will be in position once more. This time to grab a regen, but Jeremiah should actually be able to grab that as Bubbles does back off. And once again in top lane, Silhouette taking some pressure, dodges the arrow. Will they have another Contagion nuke? Oh, Legionnaire's there, and all of a sudden Plague Rider might be in some trouble. Minuts wants to go in. Terrifying charge on cooldown, and, well, there's the Ice Imprisonment. Minuts just with a single spin able to take down Plague Rider.
Yeah, the Legionnaire's farm is definitely starting to escalate. 350 GPM, It's definitely very, very good. You know, he hasn't really had. I don't know if Iglesias has been helping him stack or what, but regardless, you know, he's already got that Helm of the Black Legion. He just bought boots, so yeah, definitely something for Legion to be worried about because Legionnaire, with a really good start, can just escalate so quickly, get those crazy levels, pick off a few heroes, solo kills, even more levels, and yeah, good job by Minuts. Obviously, very playing that jungle role he loves to play and doing very well.
He is indeed doing extremely well. Currently the top farmer in the game at 340 gold per minute. Does have some triple stacks available to him, specifically the pull. As Tree goes in right here, there's the arrow connecting. The call of the Valkyrie, and Silhouette goes down. Valkyrie, of course, just not taking any counter pressure, as Silhouette had been abandoned a little bit there by Glacius. And Noob G, even after getting the first blood, is now back to below 200 gold per minute.
Yeah, I think maybe they could have used a lane ward for the Hellborn top, but excellent gank by Z-Freak. Really well done. He didn't get. It's hard to get a kill in the bottom lane with that hag, and instead just headed up to top lane, got a kill in Silhouette. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to push, which is the ideal situation for keeper. You get a kill, push the tower. They're not going to do that, but definitely a good kill. Valkyrie may be in a little trouble here. No, okay, they just some harass coming from Glacius. He doesn't have the Ice Imprisonment mana, so.
Oh, Jereziah is in some trouble, though. He has the Haunt applied to him. Wretched Hag has a Sonar Scrim in 1 second, not even needed. Zai secures the kill right there. And, well, Swindlevolens takes his first death, drops him from about 270 gold per minute. And now, Limp in the middle lane, gonna have free reign for a little bit. Probably catch back up in terms of gold per minute. Already out-leveling Jereziah, though.
Yeah, they both have been farming extremely well in this middle lane. 44 creep kills, 45 for Jereziah, 44 for Bubbles. And, yeah, I guess they just kind of went back and forth. Well, they didn't really go much back and forth. There was a kill attempt, but, both of them just securing excellent farm. Probus in this bottom lane has got 55 as well, Hag at 42, and, yeah, so... Minuts is in this by the Ancients, going to clear up these triple stacks, which I assume were stacked by Zai for him, so even more farm for him.
Yeah, he's going to hit 400 GPM easy right here. And top lane, Silhouette, Glacius, and an Invisible Bubble is going to look probably to set up a double tap. Level 5 Plague Rider, there's the Song of the Sea, takes the Kelp Field, he goes down first, Valk breaks that, and well, she goes down to a tree grapple as well. Noob G with the easy peasy double tap right there. And all of a sudden, he's back up to 240 GPM. But now, Hellborn team has to worry about their bottom tower, which is taking some pressure. Minuts comes in. He drops the taunt onto Keeper of the Forest. Keeper's real low. He gets decapitated, though. Bat Blast comes out onto Probusk. A nice cleansing shock, though, and Electrician will be able to get out of there. Might go back in, though. The tower goes down in favor of Z-Freak, and Electrician going to try to find Wretched Hag once more. She doesn't have enough mana, and there's the Inner Light, and down goes Wretched Hag. So a great turnaround there for SG as they pick up kill and get the tower.
Yeah, it looked like a great play from tdM, but unfortunately turned into a much better outcome for Stay Green with getting a tower kill and killing Hag. So yeah, it's kind of awkward how okay, Silhouette might have been. Oh, they're going on mid. Arrow came out, but did not get from Bubbles. But yeah, Keeper of the Forest, if you played it, is Bubbles gonna min up here? Okay. Anyway, you have to be close enough to the tower to be able to hit it with your minions, but like what they were saying was Z-Freak died and his minions could still hit the tower, so it's kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
It makes sense and it doesn't at the same time. It's just kind of weird. So. Looks like Minus is doing some creep cutting in this bottom lane. This is manly. He sees them all mid. He knows they just want to push mid, so feels comfortable just cleaning up that creep wave. Electrician is here to defend, and just got his mana ring delivered. But the mid lane. Oh, did he go for the deny?
Limp was about a 1/10 of a second off on that deny, but came close. But I mean, yeah, if I were level 11 on Legionnaire at 12 minutes in, I'd be doing some creep cutting too. He's just very big down there with his Helm of the Black Legion. He's got his boots and just picks up a 13-minute portal key.
Yeah, excellent farm for him. Definitely that kill and the 1 assist are huge when you're playing Legionnaire on top of having free farm 100 creep kills already. And looks like he's going to be stacking these ancients again. But Legion team, this is kind of a theme for the Stay Green team. They love to just group up and push, take down those towers. They've definitely got a great team for it. Jerizai and Keeper, notably. I heard an arrow go off somewhere.
Valk,
Was it top?
yeah, she was just kind of like right in that spot, right behind the pole up top, and just throws in an arrow because they saw Silhouette dive into the trees, wanted to get scouting information. It just hits a range creep like a second after it goes out and kills the range creep. But that was kind of funny looking.
Yeah, so nice thing about Minuts is that he's level 12 now, so leveling up that taunt, especially when you have your portal key, is really nice. And yeah, level 12. Keeper is setting up behind the tower right now, and he is invisible, and they have no clue he's here. So if tdM does choose to defend this, and he gets off a great route, could play a pretty big factor, especially with Plague Rider. Plague plus Tree Root.
They should know now as a fresh set of the animated trees to go in, but they're cleaned up pretty easily by Bubbles and the tower. Arrow goes out, connecting with a range creep once again. It's about 70%.
Those range creeps.
Yeah, he's got about a 70% rate of killing range creeps with one shot with an arrow. So, I mean, great job, actually, leveling up that arrow and then connecting with some range creeps. So, shout out to Slicks. I also prefer to level up the arrow first. I think that because it doesn't increase in mana, actually dealing a ton of damage at level 4. It's 360 damage? Yes. 360 damage at level 4 for 100 mana. It's a lot. If you're able to just secure those arrows, that is a huge nuke.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely because they did instate that nerf where, the Valkyrie arrow doesn't stun nearly as long. And you see mass TP's coming out middle lane, but Minuts is going to get away. Should be able to easily deny this tower.
Oh, yeah. And that's going to get denied. So, great job by SG getting that deny and forcing Minuts back over to the Ancients that he abhors killing so much. No, he loves killing those. He already killed another double stack. And is still farming well at 425 gold per minute. About 75 higher than Probusk on the Electrician. As an arrow goes out, not going to connect his Bubbles. Easy sidestep right there.
Yeah, I think even though with all these, they've killed, how many more towers have they killed? 2 more towers, they're still down in gold. And, Valkyrie isn't really...
There's the Song of the Sea being used as well as the Kelp Field. Plague Rider goes down. Nice hold onto Bubbles, and Limp is going to be in some trouble. No shell serve for 6 seconds, and he will definitely die. What was he thinking? Was he trying to prevent that counter ward from happening? He had to have seen the whole team up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was... Maybe he really wanted to kill Skyzone, or maybe he doesn't like Skyzone. But, yeah, but, they're still kind of getting out farmed, and Valkyrie's not really farming much. Actually, she was 290. That's a lot more than I expected. Wow. I didn't think she was creeping much. But, yeah, bottom lane goes on tower, excuse me.
Oh, Legionnaire's there. Misses the taunt, though. An Electrician will be able to just walk away. That would have been a hard kill. But they might have been able to take it with that level 12 Legionnaire and level 11 Hag with a healthy mana pool. They might have been able to get Legionnaire in that circumstance. SG, their Electrician pick yesterday in Game 3 of Cole versus SG. Did you watch that game at all?
Yeah, I watched it. That was the 3rd game, right?
Yes, after I finished casting your game.
Yeah, I watched. I didn't watch all of it, but quite a bit of it.
What was with B-Kid continually initiating onto Electrician? Like, what's the purpose? Because we see right there, I mean, Legionnaire tries to go in on Electrician, misses it. But would we have seen the same thing once again, where he's just too tanky to effectively kill?
Yeah, I don't think they would have killed him there. Just because of the purge on the what's the spell called, Haunt. But yeah, about B-Kid. I think they just had, their base was just slowly dying, and they just felt like something had to happen, whether it be initiating on the tankiest hero in the game. Something had to happen, so, it's not a good thing to do, but, otherwise your base is just going to die. And, unfortunately, they just, because I talked to Franzi, he was explaining it himself, exactly what he said. They had to go on someone, and, Electrician was the closest person, and that just got the team fight started. So that was, I think, their mindset.
Yeah, I guess so. Bottom and mid lanes being pushed right now by Trademark. SG going to be able to quickly take down the defensive tower up top. Although, Glyph of Fortification just used. Bottom and top towers will go down at the same time. Now, is SG going to go for the base, or are they going to try to defend mid? TP's already coming in from tdM, though. They're going to try to stop this base push. And now it's going to come down to who's able to get the initiation here. Valkyrie in the back with Phase Boots and a Mighty Blade, not hitting super hard, but they've got a lot of lockdown potential with that engineer, or excuse me, the electrician. Get those guys confused all the time. As Legionnaire, he gets hit by a 3.5 second arrow, used his taunt already as well. Nobody's going to initiate, though.
Yeah, and I like this decision by Zai. He's just kind of sitting back and continuing to push the middle tower. They don't necessarily need him to counter push, as you obviously just seen. So, yeah, Keeper of the Force, by the way, does have that Blink Dagger, so look for the initiation with that. There's the Repel onto, or what is it called?
Protected Charm.
Protected Charm onto Electrician, so he's got the double shield. And, yeah, this is kind of, Stay Green needs to make a decision. They're not getting much done up here, and Zai is continuing to push this middle lane.
Yeah, they've got about
the tower's gonna
10
die.
Seconds before this tower dies. They might try to blow Glyph. Nope. And Zai just gets the free tower, as well as 3 creep waves without anything being done, as Death Lotus just clears up all of the minions, and SG's just not able to find a vulnerable opening here, as Zai continues to push the middle lane still.
He's just gonna go for Rex. He doesn't care. I think he just finished his Hellflower as well, so if they do choose to fight now, if they can jump that Jerizaya, or maybe the Plague, eliminate them immediately, it'll be huge. But Stay Green is, I think they're a little lost. They don't know what to do. They feel like they need to win this game early because they don't have the late game. And are they going to force it here? There's the grip.
Oh no, the grip is canceled right there. Plague Ultimate going in, but it's just going to attack creeps. And Stay Green, they have to fall back now using that Plague Ultimate on nothing. You agree, right? They have to fall back.
Yeah, but if they fall back here, all the time they wasted, I feel like the game is over because they're so far behind now. The gold lead with all these towers, they're down that much gold and experience. It's it's just not an ideal situation. And looks like tdM is going to try and pick off some stragglers. Bubbles did blink in.
Oh, there's the taunt onto Valkyrie. Shell Surf comes in, and the decapitation. So, well, the raccoon, he might have gotten decapitated too. Poor little guy. Raccoon. But, what can Stay Green do at this point? Do they just have to wait for SG to get insanely out of position and then take a team fight? Or are they going to even be able to push at this point?
Gosh, I don't know. It's just, they wasted so much time. They're going to try and they have to pick someone off. They could pick off Regid Hag right here. She's so low. There's
the root, and there's the grip from Electrician. She's going to be going down. Probusk is a serial killer, so getting the pick on Zai is nice, but now the top tower going down in favor of tdM. They're going to be looking for the final tower push in this top lane as well, as Valkyrie finishes up a Frostwolf skull?
I don't think she
she just purchased the recipe, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe a misclick or something, but yeah, this top tower's taking a lot of rats as well. And TP's coming off from Electrician, the arrow, oof. Thought that might have hit her, but yeah, out of range.
It was
a nice pick. It's something they kind of needed, but the tree root is down. It'll be up 80 seconds. Not the end of the world. But Tree's gonna continue to push this bottom lane, which is good. But he probably can't push it all the way, or he's just gonna get TP'd on, especially with Hellflower, and he will die. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Stay Green is way behind at this point. tdM is just content to make this game go as long as possible. So.
Yeah, tdM, of course, their late game potential on Noob G, farming 366 gold per minute. Zai at 400. And, well, Seafric gets killed by some neutrals over there as he was jumped at the enemy Ancients. And looks like that's going to do it for Stay Green, knowing that they're super far behind and they give it up. I talked to Swindle a couple of days ago, and he said that it was his mentality in these games, tournament, scrim, or otherwise, that if your team feels like they've lost, then they've already lost. So for him, it's better to give up a game early, maintain a positive mentality going into the next game, and then give it a new shot there. And that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, sometimes I've gone back and watched the replay and been like, why did this team concede? You know, they're behind, but the game isn't necessarily over. And you know, even my own games, I've like in the middle of the game, I felt like, you know, wow, this game's over. Let's just concede. But if I look at the replay or the cast or whatever, the VOD, I'm like, man, we conceded a little too early. But this game, I really felt like the game was over. Even from, you know, from a spectator point of view, you know, I felt like that game is, you know, they're just too far behind. They don't have the late game. They weren't farming well because they grouped up so much. And tdM just played that perfectly and, you know, knew exactly what to do to kind of, you know, counter the pub train. You know, I said that they didn't have that much pushing power because they didn't really have like one of those heroes like Ophelia or Keeper, but the amount of damage they could do to those creep waves, I guess, just killed them instantly, especially with Legionnaire cutting. You know, the Hag nuke, all their spells apparently was definitely enough because they, you know, easily took down those towers while Stay Green was, you know, grouping up as 5. So, yeah, it was, yeah, nice job by tdM. I was a little surprised about how well they capitalized on that.
Yeah, I agree. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break while we get into the second game of the Scrim series. This has been Beef and Riser bringing you complexity casting. coLcast presents Scrims between Stay Green and tdM. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with game number 2. See you then.